चलो shall we start guys? चलो सो आई बिलीव इस चैप्टर पे आपको काफी अच्छी कमांड है अभी. सो इस चैप्टर पे और कमांड लाने के लिए हम लोग अभी बनाएंगे कैप्सूल, राइट? यस, ओके. So guys, let's start with the revision of chapter number 1, right? जिसका नाम है Nature, Objective and Scope of Audit, right? तो आप सबको पता है आपने क्या करना है. आपने किताब आपके सामने रखनी है. अगर आपको कुछ नहीं आ रहा है तो just you have to have a sneak peek, बराबर देखना है और बोलना है. बट ध्यान रखना, our entire aim is to revise and not to re-read, करेक्ट है? ये कैप्सूल्स आपने आपके साथ हमेशा रखनी है. जब भी आपका मन करे रिवीजन करना है, आपको इसको करना है, राइट? उम्मीद कर रहा हूं बाय नाउ यू हैव बीन डूइंग रिवीजन ऑफ कंपनी ऑडिट, जो आपको ऑलरेडी अपलोड करके दे दिया है. एंड फ्रॉम नाउ ऑन यू विल बी रिवाइजिंग व्हाट? चैप्टर नंबर 1. ओके, चलो लेट्स रॉक गाइस. व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ ऑडिट? बोलो. Audit is an independent examination of financial information of any entity, whether profit oriented or not, irrespective of its size or legal form, when such an examination is conducted with a view to express an opinion thereon. What are the points the auditor should consider to make sure that financial statements does not mislead anybody? So the points are: the account should be prepared based on entries. The entries should be supported by evidence. None of the entries should be omitted. Nothing which is not there in the books of accounts shall find its place in the financial statements. The information should be clear and unambiguous, and the amount should be properly disclosed, described and classified. सही है एकदम? यस सर. उसके बाद हम लोग बात करते हैं लास्ट में, वी शुड गिव व्हाट? ट्रू एंड फेयर व्यू. उसके बाद हम लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं, व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ ऑडिट? बताइए. टू ऑब्टेन रीजनेबल अश्योरेंस that financial statements are free from material misstatement and to report and communicate as per the essays. सही है एकदम? Yes sir. Then we talk about what is the scope of audit. The scope of audit is that we should cover adequately all the aspects relevant to financial statements, right? Then to form an opinion and obtain reasonable satisfaction that the accounting records and other source data is what? Reliable and sufficient, which forms the basis for preparation of financial statements, right? Second point, to form an opinion that adequate disclosure, which is the subject to the requirement of law, has been properly disclosed. Ab, how do we check that whether the information is reliable and sufficient? कैसे चेक करेंगे? स्टडी एंड इवैल्यूएट द अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम एंड इंटरनल कंट्रोल प्लस कैरी आउट व्हाट? टेस्ट, इंक्वायरीज एंड अदर वेरिफिकेशन प्रोसीजर. इंफॉर्मेशन प्रॉपरली डिस्क्लोज्ड है या नहीं, ये कैसे चेक करेंगे हम लोग? बोल दाओ. तो कंपेयर इट द अंडरलाइंग रिकॉर्ड्स विद द financial statements and judgment of the management in preparation of financial statements, selection and consistent application of accounting policies and adequate disclosure. बराबर. The auditor is not expected to work outside the scope of his competence. And last में, if there is any constraint or limitation, so he should give what? Qualified or disclaimer of an opinion. What are the various aspects to be covered in an audit? Accounting system and internal control, review, checking, verification of assets and liabilities, income and expenditure, comparison, true and fair view, statutory requirements and reporting. When we talk about accounting records, हम लोग को accounting records में क्या देखना है? Whether it is appropriate. सेकेंड रिव्यू में हम लोग क्या चेक करते हैं? वेदर इट इज एडिक्वेट एंड कंप्लीट. चेकिंग मतलब अरिथमेटिकल एक्यूरेसी. वेरिफिकेशन मतलब ऑथेंटिसिटी और वैलिडिटी ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस. एसेट्स में हम लोग तीन बातें देखेंगे, वो कौन सी होगी? टाइटल, एग्जिस्टेंस एंड वैल्यूएशन. लाइबिलिटीज आर स्टेटेड इन द बैलेंस शीट. इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर में हम लोग क्या देखेंगे? प्रॉपर डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन कैपिटल एंड रेवेन्यू एंड प्रॉपर अमाउंट शुड बी रिकॉर्डेड इन द प्रॉपर पीरियड, right? Then you have to compare the financial statements with the underlying accounting records. खत्म हो गया? Yes sir. Then we go ahead and talk about the next point. What are the advantages of audit of financial statements? Can you tell me what are the advantages of audit of financial statements? It safeguards the financial interest of the persons who are not associated with the management of the entity. It acts as a moral check. Third point, fourth point, fifth point. Third point क्या कहता है? It helps in settlement of liability for taxes, negotiating loans and determination of purchase consideration. It helps in settlement of trade disputes for higher wages, bonus and insurance claims. It helps in settlement of accounts at the time of admission and death of a partner. It also helps what? Government to provide financial assistance and issue various licenses for trade. Then we check whether proper books of accounts have been kept, detection of wastages and losses, and report what? Weaknesses. Correct ekdam? Yes sir. What are the inherent limitations of audit? Why the auditor cannot give an absolute assurance? Why the audit risk cannot be reduced to zero? Because of what? Inherent limitation. Number one point is nature of financial reporting, nature of audit procedures, timeliness of financial reporting, and balance between the benefit and the cost, and last point is other matters, right? Then we go ahead and talk about the very important question, that is elements of system of quality control. कुछ याद आ रही है? Yes sir. So elements of system of quality control की जब बात करते हैं तो इसके अंदर कौन से पॉइंट्स हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? Leadership responsibilities, ethical requirements, acceptance and continuance of client relationship, human resources and monitoring. सही है एकदम? Yes sir. Then we talk about each and every point individually. First हम लोग बात करेंगे about what? Leadership responsibility. जो क्या कहते हैं? The engagement partner shall take responsibility for overall quality on each audit engagement to which that partner is assigned. Then the actions of engagement partner and engagement team shall emphasize that quality is important and quality is essential. Important है ये कैसे हम लोग बताएंगे? Perform, comply, issue and raise concerns. बोलो और एक बार. Perform, comply, issue and raise concerns. So performance should be as per statute, legal, professional standards, legal and regulatory requirements. Comply with the firm's policies and procedures. Issue what? Audit report which is appropriate in these circumstances, and raise concerns without fear. Raise concerns without fear. उसके बाद हम लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next we talk about is what? Ethical requirements. These ethical requirements are called as dash principles, fundamental principles. These fundamental principles are integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional competence and due care, professional behavior, professional skepticism and independence. Now we talk about your favorite point, that is independence. So what is independence, my dear friends? Independence is a state of mind and appearance. So independence as a state of mind is that state of mind which permits the provision of an opinion without being affected by influences, allowing an individual to act with integrity, exercise objectivity and professional skepticism. Independence as appearance मतलब क्या कहते हैं? The avoidance of the facts and circumstances are so significant that the third party would reasonably conclude that the auditor's integrity, objectivity and professional skepticism had been compromised. What are the benefits of independence? Number one, it safeguards the auditor's ability to express an opinion without being affected by influences. Number two, it enhances the auditor's ability to act with integrity, objectivity and professional skepticism. Write a short note on independence of the auditor. The term independence implies that the judgment of a person is not subordinate to the directions or wishes of another person who might have engaged him. The rules dealing with independence does not create nor ensure existence of independence, because independence is a condition of mind and personal character. It should not be confused with the superficial and visible standards of independence sometimes imposed by law. the auditor should not only be but also appear to be independent. He should be sincere, straightforward and honest. He should work without bias, impartiality, objectivity, and should be free from any interest which is incapable of integrity and objectivity. Clear ekdam? Yes sir. Then we talk about as per IFAC. IFAC stands for International Federation of Accountants. बताओ, there are 5 different types of threats. वो कौन से? Self-interest threats, self-review threats, advocacy threats, familiarity threats, and intimidation threats. We have a financial interest in the audit client. It is called as self-interest threats. We review our own work. It is called as self-review threats. We review the previous judgment or conclusion. It is called as self-review threats. Then we promote the opinion of a client to a point that we believe our objectivity is compromised. Advocacy threats. Then we become too sympathetic towards the client. Familiarity threats, and there is a threat of replacement, right? It is called as intimidation threats. So are there some safeguards to protect these threats, sir? Yes sir. So first point, the auditor should be and appear to be independent. He should follow key fundamental principles of integrity, objectivity and professional skepticism. Then he should check whether threats to independence exist. If the threats to independence exist, he should reject, desist from the appointment. But if the threats or put in some safeguards, so if by putting safeguards, so he should accept, else the audit should not be accepted. Then we talk about professional skepticism. It is an attitude of questioning mind. We should always be alert to the circumstances that may indicate potential misstatements. Then you have to go through the examples. Yes sir. After that, now we have to have what? Acceptance and continuance of what? Client relationship. So as per standard on quality control 1, there is a procedure laid down for acceptance and continuance of client relationship. So what is this procedure, my dear friends? Number 1, we should be what? Honest. That is, we should check the integrity of owners, management and those charged with governance. Second point, we should be competent, we should be capable and should have necessary resources. Third point, we should be able to comply with relevant ethical requirements. And last, significant matters in the current or previous engagement that has an implication on the audit engagement, right? If the auditor after accepting comes to know, right, the audit should not have been accepted, then he should communicate the matter with the firm, and the firm and the engagement partner shall take the action, right? Then we talk about human resources. 3 things we want in our human resources, that is capability, competence and commitment. For that we need to set some policies and procedures. So what does those policies and procedures include? Number 1, estimation of personnel needs. Then you do the recruitment. After recruitment, performance evaluation, competence and capabilities. Then there should be their career development, promotion and incentives, performance incentives, right? Yes or no? Yes sir. Then we go ahead and talk about engagement performance. Engagement performance में we need to perform as per, we should perform as per legal and regulatory requirements and issue audit reports which are appropriate in these circumstances. For that we need to prepare what? Policies and procedures. So these policies and procedures should aim for consistency. It should aim for consistency. For consistency, there should be standardized tools, documents, manuals. Yes or no? Yes sir. And what are the matters that should be included? Number 1, first point is what? Briefing, right? How the engagement team is briefed so that they understand what the objectives of their work. Second point we talk about is they should comply with the engagement standards. Then after they are performing, we should be supervising, training and coaching. Then the review, and then we talk about the documentation should be made and all the processes should be current. And in सारी चीजों के ऊपर what we do is monitoring. The monitoring is on what? The quality control system, whether it is relevant, adequate, operating effectively and complied with, right? तो उसके नीचे के 3 point policies and procedures में हमने बात करी थी. Now we talk about is 210 agreeing the terms of engagement. So first we talk about is preconditions for audit. What are the preconditions for audit, my dear friends? The use by management of what? Acceptable financial reporting framework and agreement with the management, and where appropriate, those charged with governance, the premise on which the audit is conducted. So auditor need to establish whether preconditions are present or not. Yes sir. So what are the points we need to check? Determine whether financial reporting framework is acceptable and whether management acknowledges its responsibility for preparation of financial statements, implementation of internal control, and to provide auditor with all the information, additional information and unrestricted access to persons. Clear ekdam? Then we go ahead and talk about, once the preconditions are present, we need to agree the terms of engagement, and that is through which letter? Engagement letter. Is it a written record? Yes sir. Given by auditor to the client. So what are the contents of the engagement letter dosto? Objective and scope, responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, then identification of acceptable financial reporting framework and expected form and content of audit reports. In case of recurring audit, they say that we need to give the engagement letter again. In which circumstances? When there is change in the objective and scope, there is misunderstanding in the terms of engagement, misunderstanding in the objective, barabar nahi, change in misunderstanding in the objective or scope, revised or special terms of engagement, change in senior management or ownership, change in nature or size of the business, change in the legal or regulatory requirement, change in financial reporting framework, or change in other reporting requirements. If guys there is a limitation on scope prior to acceptance of the engagement, if it results into disclaimer of an opinion, what to do? The audit should not be accepted. And then after acceptance there is a change in engagement, that auditor is requested to provide a lower level of assurance. So first we need to seek what? Reasons. The reasons can be, number one, misunderstanding, change in circumstances or restrictions imposed by management or circumstances. So two situations can happen. The reasons are justifiable or non-justifiable. If it is justifiable, auditor should accept, prepare the new engagement letter, issue audit report as per the revised terms, but he should not mention about original engagement and the audit procedures performed in the original engagement to avoid confusion, right? If the auditor is not able to accept, the reasons are not justifiable, he should withdraw from the engagement and report it to the appropriate parties. खत्म हो गया चैप्टर भाई, बेस्ट है. So here we are done with chapter number 1, right? Tomorrow we start with chapter number 2. Thank you very much guys. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.